everybody, I'm GrowDaddy, aka Patrick, and welcome to GrowDaddy TV Studios. You've made it. You've made it to episode 9, you've made it to the season 6, and you've made it to our 57, day 57 since we put the seeds in the ground, and it's our 5th week of our veg. So that means we're starting to think flower. We're starting to turn into flower. But before we go any further, let me just say we are a legal Canadian grow. So we're growing 4 plants. That's what we're allowed to here in BC anyway. I don't think it's the whole thing in the whole country, but we're growing 4 here legally. And there's, I'll tell you what, there's some ups and downs with having such a small grow. And, we watch a lot of bigger grows on YouTube, with a lot of different plants. And there's a lot of room for errors with those plants, getting rid of plants. Well, for example, we have a runt, and we have to deal with our runt, and still get some kind of yield out of her and something. So we've got to flower her with the rest of the girls, even though she might not be ready. But we're gonna try to veg these girls out as long as we can to get a really good root development. And well, what can I say? I hope you guys like our channel, and I hope you stay around and watch it. Please help our channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It really helps the channel, and more than anything, it helps me and Mrs. GrowDaddy. It lets us know that we're doing something that people want to see. And let's not forget to comment, you guys. You guys are doing a great job of showing us your love for the likes. Great job. Where are the comments at? It's like our first segment's going to be weed porn. So let's go check out the girls. Come on. Well, this is Rosy, our strawberry banana cheese, and she's a Canuk seed, and what can I say? She's in the 5th week of veg, and she's looking about what she should look like in the 5th week of veg. Could I flower her? Yeah, but we're gonna hang on. I think we're gonna hang on a couple more weeks and try to get those roots, because really, if your roots are big and beautiful, your fruits are going to be big and beautiful. So we're going to try to get some bigger roots before we send these things to flower. And I think that's going to work on Rosy. Rosy's looking pretty good. She's very, very green, so she's getting a lot of nitrogen, and she's just pretty much loving her veg stage at this point. Looking good, Rosy. You're just looking beautiful. Come on. Ow! Well, hello, Lily. Lily is our strawberry banana what is Lily? Oh, she's our I'm getting them all confused. She's our mango merengue from Canuk seeds, and well, she looks gorgeous, but she has a little problem, and it's called runtiness problem. She's a runt, and well, what can I say? She's just starting to stretch out, where I can start to maybe tie down some of her longer limbs. I can kind of start to maybe kind of stretch her out a little bit. But she's still not there. She's small, and this is what we have to put up with in a 4-plant grow, is we have to kind of wait for, if we get a runt, we don't have a choice of just throwing her away and, not even dealing with her. All of a sudden you don't see her in next week's episode. That ain't gonna happen to you, Lily. Lily, I assure you, we are going to take care of you until you're an adult and you're ready to go out on your own. So I'll tell you what, we may have to flower you guys a little later in order for all of you guys to be happy. And we're gonna wait for you, Lily. We're not leaving you behind. We love you. Come on, Lily, you're fine. Hello, Daisy. Daisy's our Bruce Banner. And I'll tell you what, she started 5 days later because I had to plant another seed because her first one didn't come up. And so I had to plant another seed. And she's 5 days behind the rest of the girls. But I'll tell you what, she's caught up to them, and she is fine. I've been kind of tying her down a little bit, and I've kind of got the straps off of her right now, and I'm letting her just stretch up a little bit. As you can see, I have these, but I don't have them tied down. See, I could tie her down, and I just got the straps up, and I'm just letting her stretch out and enjoy the tent a little bit, as you can see. But I'll tell you what, as you know, and I've said before, Daisy, I think she's going to be my favorite. One, she's growing like a beast, but I'll tell you what, her taste and her terps are absolutely wonderful. I got her from Farmers Lab Seeds in Vancouver, and let me tell you what, I love this. I have to buy some more seeds. I'm out of seeds. I'm going to have to buy some more of her because I will not do without some Bruce Banner in my what would you call it, my log of
your stash
my
box?
Stash box, yeah, my different stuff. So Daisy, you're looking beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. I can't say anything bad about you because you're absolutely beautiful. I would even say you're so fine. Come on, Daisy. You're beautiful, baby. Well, hello, Poppy. Poppy, happens to be Super Skunk. And I'll tell you what, she's not only Super Skunk, she's super growing. She's ready to flower. I've got to hold back on her a little bit. She's going to end up with a tent with Lily, you know, our smallest one, our Runt. And in a couple weeks, I'm hoping to what I'm probably going to end up doing with her is, if you get back a little bit, I'm going to show you, I'm going to end up stretching her, you know, rectangularly over here. All of her, I'm going to end up stretching her over to this side of the tent. When she's in the tent with Lily, she's going to be taking up more of the tent, and this is what I'm going to end up doing with Poppy. But she is literally coming off the hook, and she is, what is she? She's a Quebec, Quebec seeds?
Yeah, she's a super skunk from Quebec seeds.
And let me tell you what, I don't know if all my seeds are going to grow like this, but this is something I should clone. If I had a big grow, or if I had a lot of friends that wanted some, I would start taking stuff off of her and cloning her, because she's just, I hope her buds turn out as good as she's been as a plant so far, because as far as growing, her foliage and her growth has been spectacular. I've got to tell you something, Poppy. I'm absolutely in love with you. I'm in love with you, and I'm waiting until we can finally have an intimate encounter after I harvest you. I love you, Lily. You're beautiful. You're just beautiful. Hey, this is our watering segment. I just wanted to fill you guys in on what I was doing with the watering in the tent this week, and what you might want to do in your own tent, especially if you're a beginner and just trying to figure out how to water these grows. First off, dry back is the easiest. It works, and it's the safest. You can't really over or underwater them doing dry back. Dry back is when you you completely let them dry out. You pick them up and they feel really light, because you've just completely dried the pots out. And then you soak them, and you do it so the water runs through. Now remember, your soil gets very hydrophobic when it gets dry. So it takes a lot longer to water a hydrophobic pot than it would a pot that was moist. Because if it's moist, it just sucks up the water. If it's hydrophobic, all the water tends to run off of it, and it'll run right to the bottom. So you have to be very slow about watering hydrophobic. That's the only trick to dry back there is, but it's completely safe. I'm kind of going off the reservation with my watering right now. I'm trying to learn a new way of watering. It's very difficult, because it's very difficult to keep your cannabis plants moist, yet not overwater them. And I've bought 1 meter so far. I've bought a BlueMat meter, and I've ordered 3 more. Yeah, they're like $70, $80 a piece. I think I paid $350 Canadian, $350 Canadian for 4 of them with shipping and handling and everything. So it's quite a, I think it was quite a, what do you call it? It's a little bit of a sticker shock for me, but you know what? This is what I do. This is my hobby. Would I buy myself a new golf club if I knew it was going to get me another 2 yards? Yeah, I would. I would. So it's just trying to up my game a little bit. And yes, it is sometimes clubs are expensive. Well, sometimes moisture meters are expensive. And, what can I say? I showed you last episode my new moisture meter. I'm experimenting with it. I ordered 3 more. And I'm fine. I've been watering every day, right? Like a liter every day. And well, it's doing okay. The plants look fine, but I think I'm going to go to watering every 2 days. It'll be a larger amount. It'll be say two. But when they're really chugging water, they're going to be chugging almost 4 liters every 2 days. A lot of water. Right now, they're only going to be chugging, say, a liter a day. That'd be 2 liters in 2 days. Now another thing we've done in the tent that's totally new and experiment, because I'm trying to learn how to grow and keeping all the
microbes alive.
The microbes alive. And if you're growing in a 5 gallon pot, I do get why they say growing organically or trying to grow this way is much easier when you're growing in a bigger pot, because there's less swing. And when you have a smaller pot, like a 5 gallon, they say 7 gallons about the smallest you want to go with when you start doing this kind of watering. Because if you're going with a 5 gallon pot, the problem is they're going to dry out so quick. You would have to water several times a day, small amounts. It would just be very difficult. Can you do it? Yeah. You would maybe even do it if you went into cocoa, right? But in soil, it's different, because if you saturate the soil, you're going to be drowning your roots. So let me just go back to saying, if you're a beginner and you're trying to figure out how to water, I'm going right back to the beginning. Don't do like I'm doing, unless you're trying to experiment with some bigger pots and keeping the soil moist. You're best off if you just do a dry back, and that, of course, that is just drying out, watering. your plants will do fine. They'll do great. I don't know. I've done this all along. It's just an experiment for me to do this and see if I get better results. I'll tell you what, I have experienced better results. These plants have grown. They've grown.
Yeah, this seems to be going well.
I don't know what it is, if it's my VPD or if it's my new watering technique. I do feel like I'm watering a little too much on a couple of them, but I don't have all my moisture meters, so I'm a little bit blind right now. So I'm just experimenting. What I am going to tell you that I'm doing, I do have a little bit of an infestation. Yeah, I got my gnats back. And it's because I've been applying my water with some gnat stuff on them, with BTI, which is the mosquito
It's the
dose.
mosquito dose.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm only putting such a small amount on top. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let these girls dry out for a week or whatever until they dry. I'm going to do a dry back on them, just so I can dump. What was I dumping? Something like 2.5 gallons in each of these, and I'm going to get some mosquito dunk, and I'm going to get that going, and I'm going to really hit them hard with a mosquito dunk, and I think I'll take care of the problem. Yeah, and I looked at Diatomaceous earth. In fact, I bought a whole bag of it. It's very expensive, and I looked at it, and then I started reading about it, and I found it only works if it's dry. So that Diatomaceous earth that you can put on top of in your soil, it will work to help with the gnats, because they get cut on it. But apparently, if it's wet, it doesn't really work. It's got to be dry. So it only works in dry back. So I'm not even going to end up using it. Anyway, that's our water segment to kind of let you know what I'm doing in the tent, maybe what you should be doing in your tent. Let me know in the comment section, if you have any questions, or let me know what you're doing for water in the tent.
Yeah, got some ideas on how to.
Or some ideas about, anything. I don't know.
Meanwhile, should we go look at the Park Geek segment?
Let's go look at the Park Geek segment. Hey, you've made it to our Park Geek segment. This is where we talk about our lights and what we're doing in the tent as far as, all lights, anything to do with the lights. And in the tents right now, we've got a few problems, but let's start by rattling off our figures. And I'll tell you what, we're hanging about 18 inches from the top of the canopy, which is about 300. It's about 300 par on the girls right now, and they've got about 19.5 DLI. Like I said, we do have a problem in the tent though, and I want to talk about that just for a minute. Our power source in this tent went out a couple weeks ago, and I came in here and I looked at our watt meter that it's hooked up to, and I saw 79 watts being delivered, when I know I set it at around 100 like this one. So then I started to move the dial, and it was doing nothing. And then until I got almost all the way to the 100%, all of a sudden the lights came on. I would have never known without a watt meter. I would have never known. So I'm just telling you guys this. If you guys don't have a watt meter on your lights, this is the second light that has failed in just a little over a year. This one failed under a year. This one failed at 13 months or 14 months or something. I mean, it's not like these lights are 5 years old. And I would have never known. I would have always been using, if I was just an amateur grower, just using my dial, I would never know that it wasn't even working. So I suggest you guys get a $20 watt meter, hook your light up to that. That way you can always check and make sure your lights are producing and operating the way they should be. Because the naked eye is not going to see when these things are not working properly. So that's my big tip for today. Otherwise, hey, that's our Park Geek segment. And let's get the hell out of here. Come on! Last but not least, this is our VPD segment, and I'll tell you what, it stands for vapor pressure deficit, and it's where relative humidity and temperature come together for a perfect environment for your girls, so they'll photosynthesize better according to science. Our temperature in our tent is between 75 and 80 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 70%. A lot of growers will tell me, hey, if the room's comfortable, my plants are comfortable, and your plants will grow in that room just fine. Trust me, they will. I've done it myself, but we're operating on science. Science says they will photosynthesize better and do better. There's a chart right up here telling you where to put your girls. If you're at a temperature, just kind of cross-reference and come up with your perfect VPD to get your girls, well, to give your girls what they really, really want. That's really what we're talking about here. Hey, if you guys enjoyed our content, if you guys enjoy our show, if we're any help, I don't know, think of 1,000 different reasons. It doesn't matter. Please like, subscribe, and comment, because it does help the show. And don't forget, what is this? I forget.
Notifications.
I say don't forget before I say forget. Don't forget your notification button if you like the show. And come back and get new content. If you didn't really like the show, don't hit that button. Don't hit that button. Because if you hit that button, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get notified. And then you're going to get annoyed. And then you're going to unsubscribe. We don't want that. If you don't really like our show, subscribe. Just don't get your notification button and we're all good. Hey, love you guys. Hope you guys come back next week and check out our flowers. Check out our girls.
Our veg.
They're not in flowers yet, but I'll tell you what. This one's ready to go. We're gonna switch them around a little bit. We're gonna put Poppy over here with Lily, our small one, and then we'll end up putting the other girls together where they match up. You're gonna see them arranged a little bit differently next week. So come back and look at the way we have our plants arranged. Love you guys. I'm on. I'm out.